Arrakis is a test. Few survive it.
So tell me a bit about Dune Awakening.
Sure, so Dune Awakening is this open world survival MMO. Starts off as like a survival game, but turns into this big social kind of political game later on when you get deeper into it. So surviving on the most dangerous planet in the universe. Water, sunstroke, sandworms, just making your way through the world. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work, right? Just figuring out, especially because the desert is such a monotonous kind of landscape. So yeah, we did a lot of work to understand how to drive players towards things. So at night time, the sky is quite alive, and some of the ships and things are landing in the distance, and you can kind of see where to go. And also, there's things that are lit up. And then during the daytime, it's kind of this heat haze, and it's like you can see in the distance where you need to be. But it's kind of, it was a lot of work to get it right and to get it to feel right. Yeah, so I mean, you move so the start of the game is very classic Arrakis, and then you move into places like the Graben, which is this area called Hagar Rift, and it's this very deep, dark crevice in the world, and the sunlight never really gets to the bottom of this place. So down there, it's very dark and murky, and you need to bring, light sources and be able to explore these deep mines. And then there's other areas like the Udum, where they were doing experiments with the ecology labs, and some water escaped out into the world. So now there's more plants and greenery in that area, grasses and things like that. And then there's another space where like a ship has crashed and it left a huge radiation leak. So there's like this big radiation zone, and that area also feels very different again because it's warped the environment. So yeah, kind of multiple biomes, trying to make the desert, jazz up the desert a little bit and make sure that people don't get bored in just one environment. Yeah, so as you explore, you use the cut array. It has this analysis mode that scans the thing that you're looking at and finds the weak points, and then you cut the weak points. So of course, for harvesting rocks, it's great. But then later in the game, you use it to open like hatches and doors on wrecked spaceships and things like that. So you can use it to cut through certain things to get into new areas and things like that.
Yeah, it's more fun than a hammer and axe, so I like that.
Yeah, Dune doesn't have trees, so we didn't have the axe thing, so we had to think about what we could do.
The only peace I find is a future that never happened. One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born.
Yeah, so we created an alternate history for this game, working with the Herbert estate and the Legendary team. So yeah, like the story of our game is that Paul was never born. Instead, she did what she was told to do and had a daughter. And so the universe changes because of that. Now you have the War of Assassins. The Atreides survived the Battle of Arrakeen, so now there's like a war between them on the planet. And then you are this nameless prisoner, and all you know is that at the start of the game you're sent to the planet and told, find the Fremen, they're missing. Right? And so the game really follows, the main story is kind of this journey of exploration as you're looking for the Fremen and wondering what happened to them.
Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated.
I think for people who've read the books and seen the movie, it's something interesting to explore because they already know the story, right? So so I didn't want to tell the same story. So this is more like kind of, hey, like we've done this other thing, like have a look at this, and it gives them something. And also for new players who don't really know Dune, hopefully it makes them intrigued and they want to go read the books and watch the movie to kind of understand more. Yeah, of course. So, I mean, it's a live game, right? The plan is to keep it up and running and keep adding updates. I think beyond, Dune has all kinds of interesting environments that aren't necessarily shown in the films, but they're talked about in the books, like the polar cap. There is an actual polar cap on Dune, right? So there is an area where there's ice, and beyond that, there's other planets we can explore later on if we'd like to. So we have lots of options with Dune. It's a huge universe. So yeah, I think we're just going to start with Arrakis and then move outwards and see where we go.